Hello, this is Dee Williams, and I'm back with you today with our Parent Connect on choices. So, today our session will be all about the skill of choices. And during this session, we'll break it down into three small parts. Number one, the power of free will. Each person has the power to choose. Number two, the skill of choices. Giving choices empower children to choose between two positive options so they can exert their free will while still operating within the safe limits of what we want. And three, the formula of choices. This will explain how to provide these two choices and what to do if the child is hesitant or resistant or changes their mind. So think back to when you were first trying new baby food flavors for your little one. Did you ever try to make your child eat a flavor and he clearly did not like it? How did that go for you? The power of free will recognizes this basic fact of life. You cannot make a person do something unless he is willing. The flip side of this, of course, is that you are the only person you truly have control over. But how often do we act as if we can make someone else change? And when you think you can make them change, who ultimately is really choosing what the outcome is? The power of free will is the belief that each and every person has the inner power to choose helpful or hurtful. As adults, we are responsible for the way we behave. We physically move and do as a response to what we choose. Now, the motivation of that choice may be provided by someone else or something, but the choice is still ultimately ours. So free will applies to children as much as it applies to adults, yet we spend a lot of time trying to make children behave. What if we tried to shift our thinking from how can I make children behave a certain way to how can I help children choose to behave a certain way? When we honor children's free will, choices become natural to us. We often think of childhood as a carefree time. In reality, young children have a very little choice in their lives. Adults are constantly guiding them in what they can and cannot do, can and cannot wear, can and cannot eat, can and cannot play. It can be really stressful. Offering children two positive choices provides an empowering alternative. In essence, you're giving them the power to take what you want them to do and they can choose how to do it. So let's see what choices can do. Choices help children increase their attention span. It helps them to develop decision making skills, follow through on tasks. It improves their self esteem. It develops a sense of responsibility and it helps them to feel empowered. And if that isn't enough, it also increases the likelihood that they're going to cooperate. Otherwise, we can choose to believe that we have the power to make children behave and try to force them to do something when a struggle is there. And that tends to go about as well as trying to force a baby to eat that green baby food. The formula for two positive choices is you have a choice. You may blank or you may blank. Which is better for you? Two positive choices are pretty simple to offer. It's making sure they're both positive that can be tricky. Infants and toddlers do much of their communication through actions, but they can still make choices. Hold up two choices in front of them and then ask them if they want this or that. Babies will show you their choice by grabbing, pointing, or simply looking at it. Two positive choices. Asking a child, do you want to clean up or do you want to go to timeout? That's not truly a choice. Instead, ask, do you want to pick up the blocks or the baby dolls first? You still meet your goal of a clean room and you shift from manipulating the children to helping children practice decision making. Once that child makes a choice, even if she does so while dragging her feet or his feet, encourage their choice and willingness to follow through. Remember, young children's brains process information very slowly, so make sure to give them time to understand the choices and repeat yourself if necessary. Gestures like pointing are also helpful. So some people believe that children are hesitant to choose, resist the structure of two choices, or they change their minds. So this could help in the following ways. So let's say that the child is hesitant to choose. Point out all the small choices those children do make throughout the day. Praise them for it. For instance, you have a choice. You can hold my right hand or my left hand while we cross the street. Which do you choose? Then when they do it, praise them. You did it. You chose my right hand. They'll be more likely to choose next time. Resisting structure. That's another thing that we come across. When this happens, it's a child's job to test limits. It is how they establish themselves as individuals. When children are resisting to choose, you can try what we call parroting. This is simply repeating the choices over and over. If they continue to resist, then you say, I can see you are having a hard time choosing. You may choose or I will choose for you, and then move on. And lastly, what if the child changes their mind? Well, children who change their minds are often stressed, but sometimes it's a learned behavior. So take that extra time to calm and connect with these children. So lastly, I would just like for you to check out the resources that you were given regarding this session, and you will find a new breathing technique, the pretzel, a new love ritual, as well as some other resources to help with the skill of choices. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your FRS, your family advocate, or home visitor. And as always, we wish you well.